Assalamu alaikum and good evening. I, Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. I, Muhammad Umar Khan, on behalf of ASHRAE Northern Pakistan chapter and Pakistan HVACR Society Islamabad chapter, would like to welcome each and every one of you to another enlightening webinar on business process reengineering. And our speakers of today's seminar is engineer Faiz Bhuta Saab. I would like to invite Mr. Shabab Kamar, CTTC chair, for the introduction of our speaker. Sir, please.
Thank you, Mr. Umar Khan. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Shabab Kamar Rajput, serving ASHRAE Northern Pakistan chapter as chapter technology transfer chair. Today, we have a very distinguished speaker from Central Punjab, Pakistan, who is PC registered engineer in electrical discipline and also PC registered energy consultant, along with MBA and MS in business administration. He has more than 30 years of experience in serving both technical and managerial companies at national and multinational companies in industrial automation, water pumping, controls, and renewable energy. He is also a member of Association of Energy Engineers, and currently he is serving president of AEE Pakistan chapter. He is also a member of International Solar Society, Germany, life member of Pakistan Engineering Council. He is also life member of Pakistan HVACR Society, life member of Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineer Pakistan, and also a member of Marketing Association of Pakistan. He is a consultant, he is a speaker, he is a trainer on renewable energy and energy management, and his articles are published in Daily Dawn, Alt Energy Magazine USA, HVACR Journals, TechnoBiz, Energy Updates, Engineering Horizon, and Business Magazine. Today, Mr. Faiz Mohammed Bhuta is going to present a very interesting and informative topic, which is business process re-engineering. So I would like to hand over the mic to Mr. Faiz Mohammed Bhuta. Over to you, sir, please.
Thank you very much. Today's seminar webinar is about business process reengineering. This topic has gained importance, particularly in a situation where there is a threat to human being because of the COVID-19. Most of the businesses are in risk and they are in vulnerable position. Many businesses are going to wipe out in the future. Many businesses, new businesses will come up, and many businesses are going to re-engineer their businesses to reposition themselves in a changing market. So therefore, this webinar topic is very important in this situation where we are standing. So you will see, we will go ahead many slides and see what is business process reengineering, how this process can be implemented, what are the challenges, and why this business process reengineering is necessary. Is it necessary for every company, whether it is small, medium, or big company, or it is only for the big companies? So we will discuss in length this whole topic. What is a process? So basically, process is specific ordering of work activities across time and space with a beginning and end and clearly identified inputs and outputs, a structure for action. So a process has the input, a process has the output, and there is in between lot of activities which are consuming the resources, and we see this process in different forms. In different companies this process is different. Now, because we are studying here, discussing the business process reengineering, therefore it is necessary to understand what is a business process. So a business process, basically, because we have studied a process, now it is a business process, because we are going to re-engineer this process. So a group of logically related tasks that use the firm resources to provide customer-oriented results in support of the organization objectives. So any business process you study, whether it's a technical process, whether non-technical business process, you will see the activities, logically related tasks, which are using the firm resources. And what is the end result? End result is the customer-oriented results. If any business process does not provide any benefit to the customers, it is a useless process. So when we are going to re-engineer a process, we should keep in mind that the ultimate goal is to serve the customer. Ultimate goal is the customer benefit. Ultimate goal is the value to the customer through your service or through your product. But we should not forget the organization objectives also, because ultimately we are going to re-engineer a process in the benefit of the customers while keeping the organization objectives intact. So what are any business process you see, any business process, you will see a sub processes of a main business process, whether it is a sales company, whether it is a manufacturing company, whether it is a service company, technical company, non-technical business. All the businesses have the sub process. As you see, our body, human body, is a one process. It has also the sub processes in the form of cardiovascular process, in the form of urinary process, in the form of neurological process. Similarly, any business process you will see there are sub processes of the business process. So financial and accounting process is one process, human resource development process, information technology process, technical services process. If some company is giving only installation, design services or commissioning services, they will be having a technical services process. Production, operation process, supply chain management process, sales and marketing process, R&D and innovation management process. All processes may not be having in all the companies. It depends upon what kind of services or the products they are providing. Are they manufacturing? Are they trading? Are they just providing services? So might be some integrated companies may be having all the processes. We see this a sales process. So you are looking that this process has the input. It starts from the prospect. So prospect is to find the customers. So customers give you inquiry. Inquiry may be in the form of email, maybe form of telephone call. So its input starts from the inquiry, and then you do some clarification. Sales guys call customers, they get some clarifications. Then quotation and proposal you submit it. Then again clarification and negotiations go between the sales people and the customers. Then you get the order or the contract. Then there is some advance payments. If there is a part of the terms that you have to get an advance payment, then a supply is made, supply of service or product, installation and commissioning, then invoice, and you submit invoice, you get the payment and you record it. this sales is recorded. Now in this process, if I found there is a problem that supply is being delayed, so I am a process manager, I have been asked to see where is the problem. So I will go and see that there is a supply, there is a delay in supply. Why there is delay? Might be the supply and delay is that we do not have the proper inventory. When the order comes, a logistic person go into the market, buy the products and then supply. There may be a delay because of this. There may be a delay because the payments are not made, advance payment is not made, so there is a delay in that. Might be there is a delay, there are the contract terms are not proper, they have lot of gaps. So I will, being a process manager, will go and see this whole process and find out where is the delay. So I will correct that process. Might be I am not having the proper inventory, so I will put orders, and might be the contract with the vendors that is also not been implemented, and vendors are delaying because of the some reason, because there is import problems, there may be some production problems. So I will go and identify a problem, then take corrective action, and then this supply problem will be over. So you are looking that there are three departments, three processes are interacting with one process. One is sales process, then logistic process, then accounts process. So in one process there is interlinking. There are other processes also which are working in parallel. So it's a parallel tasking in one process. So if somebody wants to correct this process or to reinvent this process, he has to go, and this is called process flow chart. Might be this is not a very detailed flow chart, but when anybody is going to correct any process or re-engineer any process, he has to lay down, he has to make a process flow chart, he has to write down each step, where is the problem. So if you do not have a problem, might be the problem has not been rightly identified, then you cannot resolve the problem also. Now we have seen that business process, sub processes. Now a question comes in, then what is a re-engineering? So re-engineering is a fundamental rethinking, radical redesign, and dramatic improvement. So in re-engineering, there are three major terminologies. One is a fundamental. Fundamental is that change the obsolete way. So what practice you are doing, what systems you are, what process you have, it becomes an obsolete. It is not giving the correct results. Might be the delay in the supply, might be the customer response is poor, might be some sort of problem in that solar process, in a process. So you have to start from, so fundamental is change the obsolete way, change the way you are performing. Then radical redesign starts from the roots of the process. I have shown you the process. You have to start from the root. What is a process? How the process can be reinvented? You have to reinvent this process. So the radical is starts from the root. And other important thing in re-engineering is the dramatic. Dramatic is that if you are improving a system incrementally, that is not re-engineering. If you are making small changes on the continuous basis, which we call continuous improvement, it is not re-engineering. So re-engineering is a philosophy by which you take fundamental rethinking, radical redesign starts from the roots, and then dramatic change. Substantial improvement in process should be seen as a result of the re-engineering process. If there is no dramatic change, then that is not re-engineering. You have done somewhere some mistake. So we now move towards a definition, because we have seen the process, business process, re-engineering. Then we come up with the definition. Is re-engineering is the fundamental rethinking, radical redesign of the business processes, to achieve dramatic improvement in critical contemporary measures of performance such as cost, quality, service, and speed. So you have to make a dramatic performance improvement in the cost. Might be you have a problem that your costs are over. So you have to bring a dramatic improvement in the cost. You have to bring a dramatic improvement in the quality of the product, of the service. If you are providing services, you have to bring the quality in the service. And the last is the speed. You know, speed is a dimension which is now the dominant dimension in the business. If your speed, if your response, if your process is slow, the output will be slow. So you have to achieve the speed. You have to make your systems, the processes efficient, so effective that you gain a speed in your business. Suppose if you're supplying the product, you are taking 30 days, 15 days, you have to reduce it. Might be you are having a very high cost of the product, you have to substantially reduce it. So the BPR basically focuses on reduction, substantial improvement in cost, quality, service, and speed. Who is the father of the reengineering? So Michael Martin Hammer is the father of the reengineering, and he told two very interesting his quotes are: automating a mess yields an automated mess. This is very interesting. I have seen in my practical life, a lot of people, when they are having problems, they try to automate, because automation companies are pushing them that if you automate your systems, you will resolve all the problems. You will get rid of all the problems. But if there is a mess in the organization, if there is a managerial chaos in the organization, and if you automate, you will get an automated mess. So you remember. So automation is a solution, but automation should be done in a way if your company is ready to automate. I just give you an example. Is when Sheikh Zayed Hospital in Lahore just started its operation, they automated the patient management system. So I went on first day of its opening. So it was a huge problem. Patients were screaming. The systems were not working. The automated system was giving problem. The people were not trained enough to handle this operations. So there was a chaos. There was automating a mass yields and automated. But finally, they corrected their system. They trained their people. So if you are only automation is not a solution. To succeed at a re-engineering, you have to be missionary. So some mission you should have to re-engineer, because it is a very difficult process. You should be a motivator. If any CEO, head of the organization, does not have such qualities, he can hire the people who have the qualities to re-engineer. So I have given you below a lot of companies, though these are all multinational companies which got benefit of the BPR. They use the BPR, and the Ford cut accounts payable headcount by 75%. Mutual benefit life improves insurance underwriting efficiency by 40%. So some has improved efficiency, some have reduced the headcount, some have improved the efficiency. But you will be asking now, might be coming question in your mind. So you have written all multinational companies, but in Pakistan, all companies are not multinational. So I would like to tell you, all the group companies, you take Nishat Group, you take Daud Group, you take Habib Group, you take Packages Group, you take any group of Pakistan, they all have re-engineered their processes. They have all re-engineered their companies. Can anybody think of that Nishat will be having a hotel chain? Was it its range of a business? Anybody can think of that Packages Mall will come up, and Packages is the packing industry, and anybody can think of the Packages Group will put up the LUMS University. So it is all result of the re-engineering of their systems, of their companies. So re-engineering have given them benefit in terms of cost reduction, in terms of efficiency improvement, in terms of quality improvement. Today they are exporting, they are making good businesses. So we need to learn. Which companies require BPR? Obviously, having big crisis, no other option. There is a chaos in the company, not facing crisis now, but feeling fear in the future. Just because of COVID-19, you are looking, a lot of companies, businesses may wipe out with the time. I was just studying hotel business is under stress. The tourism business is under stress. The traveling airplane business, might the airplane design have to be changed in a way that seating arrangement might have to change. Might be there is some disinfectant inside the indoor environment which could avoid the spread of the virus. So anything can happen. So if they are companies today are feeling that they are comfortable, but they are feeling that in future they have a threat, their product, their sales are declining, they are becoming uncompetitive with the time, they should go for re-engineering of their businesses. Continuous declining sales and uncompetitive, high operational costs, low quality offer to the customers. Customers are unhappy and not satisfied. High level of bottleneck in processes. You might have seen in the government sector, the processes are lengthy, complex processes. Whenever any leader comes, he tries to re-engineer the whole Pakistan. That means departments, he fails because there is a lot of resistance from inside that they do not allow to re-engineer. They are happy in file movement. File is moving here and there, and they do not want to bring change. So resistance is another element. When you are going to re-engineer, you will face a lot of resistance. Poor performance of middle level managers, inappropriate distribution of resources. So if you have such problems and coming, definitely you should think of re-engineering your businesses. Why to change? A comfortable company is going well, why there's need to change? Because customer take charge, because customer requirements are changing, customer choices are changing, customer preferences are changing. Every day they are changing. Today customers are asking the masks. Today customer asking the personal protective equipment. Today customer are asking, thinking of the HVAC systems, air conditioning in such a manner that it should not only provide comfort, but there should be some system which should disinfect the environment. Might be you are having a new air condition which will be having some part of ultraviolet radiations, might be some disinfectant materials spraying every 1 hour. I'm just giving you imagination, it's not true, but there is a lot of discussion going on that is there any effect of HVACR on the temperature and humidity? Is HVACR prone, is instrumental in spreading the viruses in the indoor environments? There are a lot of questions being raised, there are a lot of researches. So might be the customers' demands may change and you have to change your product, you have to change your technology. You should be ready for that. Competition intensifies. All the time there is a local competition, global competition is intensifying day by day because of the globalization, because of the internet. Many online platforms are coming, many new products are coming. You think of HVACR society, they have re-engineered their systems, that they are holding webinars, they have trained their people, they have created a new process of holding the webinars. So it is some sort of re-engineering because they have created a new process, they have trained their people. So change becomes constant. So change is inevitable, you cannot avoid change. Because of these three things, you have to change. Now you have two choices. Ultimate goal is the performance improvement. Ultimate goal is the rectification, correction of the problems. You have two choices. One is either you go to the business process improvement. A business process improvement is the continuous improvement, incremental improvement. You daily basis, monthly basis, weekly basis, you are improving your systems. I personally believe in this business process improvement because of the reasons that you need not to go for BPR. And I just share you my experience. Wherever I took position in companies as a manager, I hold always a weekly meeting, which is Monday meeting called CI meeting, continuous improvement meeting. So there was Monday meeting, continuous improvement meeting. My all subordinates come at exactly at 9 o'clock. So I asked three questions to them. First question is where we need an improvement, where we are having a problem. So they tell me that this is a problem, response is poor. Sometimes the network is down, because that I'm taking of the example of the company which was providing internet services to the people, network services to the people. So sometimes networks are down, sometimes bandwidth has a problem. So we weekly, in a weekly meeting, we take steps to improve. That is called continuous improvement. Then second question I ask, what our competition is doing, where competition stands, what are their new strategies. Third question was how we can compete our competition, how we can knock out, what steps we should take. So if you're doing continuous improvement, if you're holding meetings, monthly meetings, weekly meetings on continuous improvement basis, I just give you another example of Xylem, because I served Xylem in 16 years. So this was a company which was having quality council. It was National Quality Council, and there were quality circles, and there were elections in 1 year. So we used to contest the elections for the quality circles. Then we sit in a quality circle. We used to think how to improve the sales, how to improve the quotation, how to improve the formats, how to improve the communication with the customers. So if you are continuously improving your systems, no need to business process reengineering. So what business process improvement will result? It will make processes effective, efficient, and adaptable. So you continuously work, improve, take steps, make your process effective, efficient, adaptable. You need not to think, because it is a continuous process. And you know, the Japanese companies, they adopted this continuous improvement process. And you know, their car industry is a leader in the world. Then second is, you have a second choice. If you are not improving and your systems have become outdated, obsolete, you have no chance to improve, so you have to re-engineer the whole processes. As you see in our government, mostly departments, they difficult now, they cannot improve, they have to go for re-engineering processes. I give you a lot of examples also. But Pakistan PTCL, when was not privatized, you believe what was its situation, what was its response, how many complaints people have. But after its privatization, they re-engineered whole of the business processes. Because I used to meet a lot of people, and we used to discuss the customer support centers. So I gave them the idea that you start from the customer support centers. So they put an automation, they trained their people, they re-engineered their processes. Now you call, just give one call, PTCL person will be at your door. Sir, what services you require? He will be calling you, he will be answering you. So they have improved their response, they have improved their efficiency. So it is again fundamental, radical, dramatic. These three words we will be talking in whole of the presentation. So if you go for BPI, you are continuously improving, then you make processes effective, efficient, adaptable. This we have talked. Many words came into the market, time to time. Some people called BPR as a downsizing, but BPR is not a downsizing. Yes, BPR can be instrumental in downsizing because most of the companies, they re-engineer their processes to downsize because the people leave the company. The old people who could not change, they leave the company and they say what they are doing. Now we are mature enough, why they are training us. So downsizing, BPR could result in downsizing, but BPR is not downsizing. BPR is not restructuring, not reorganizing, not delayering. It's not an automation. I told you the automation is a solution, is an instrument in implementation of BPI. But if you are having a mess, you are having a lot of problems, then probably automation will not help. Software engineering is not a BPR, busting bureaucracy, total quality management, marginal improvement. These are not BPRs. So we will see again, it is something heavy, it is something drastic. What BPR will give you? It will give you survival in a changing business environment. You always survive, you always grow. That's why I was saying that these are all groups, which I've told Nishad, Habib, packages, they diversified their businesses through re-engineering processes just to survive in the market. So survival and growth is the basically aim of every company to survive. So if you want survival and your businesses are having a serious problems, they could not be improved further, you go for BPR. Position for the future, as because of the COVID-19 now, what will be the future? It is a risky future. So companies are developing their muscles, they are putting re-engineering, some is diversifying their businesses, going into the personal protective equipment business, some are going into the healthcare business because healthcare business is rising, some are diversifying towards online application development. You are looking a lot of experiencing the online platforms are coming, apps business is rising. So you have to reposition. You have to develop your positioning in the market because the things are changing now. As I told you, might be the HVACR systems the companies have to reposition in the market with the new product, new slogans. Might be some company will be saying one day, my air conditioning is not only giving you comfort, a cool and clean environment, but it also is resisting the spread of the viruses. You may be a new slogan may come in the market and knock out the competition. What you will achieve? What are the outcome of the BPR? Because several jobs, there are multiple jobs which are combined into one. Sometimes there are overlapping of the jobs, you combine into one. Decentralized decision making, because you have put the systems in, you have put the processes workable. Now there is no need to take all the time from the top. You might have seen various companies which are single person owned companies or medium sized companies, and I have practiced whole day. The CEO is calling the people, he feels happy, he calls 5 times a person, come in and explain me what is happening, what is the sales, what is the business, what is the accounts, because he does not have system. He feels pleasure in calling the people whole day. So if he put the system in place, he does not need to call the people, and people get irritated while when a top person is calling all the time and not allowing them to work with peace. Processes have multiple versions. Now the lot of processes are interlinked with each other. Work is performed where it makes the most sense. Checks and controls are reduced. Reconciliation is minimized. A process manager provides a simple point of contact, hybrid, centralized. Once I visited a company I don't remember, there was a pharmaceutical company in Kahuta. So I was visiting, then they re-engineered their whole processes. So I said, sir, what is your designation? He was conducting my visit. He said, my designation is first right manager. I said, what is first right manager? He says, sir, when anybody starts any work, he repeats it. If he is drafting a letter, he drafts letter 5 times. He is wasting paper. If he is operating a system, he make a mistakes. He every time make a mistake. So he told me that he, by taking some actions, he has saved 30% of the time the people are putting in repeated work. They are doing again and again that work. There are some multiple things people are doing. So first right manager was a very new thing for me, that there could be any manager which is first right. It means do the things right first time. So this is a philosophy. So we go ahead. When you re-engineer, your work units change, your jobs change, your people's role change, your job preparation changes, your performance measures and compensation changes, your advancement criteria change, values change. What values you are creating? Ultimately, any company is putting a value package outside through its activities, which stays in the mind of a customer. Suppose if you say today Descon, you have certain positioning in your minds that what kind of this company. You take the name of the KFC, McDonald's, big names. You take the name of packages, so you will bring a Sufi, you bring a quality in your mind that they are putting values. Values in terms of might be integrity is one value. Quality of the product is another value. Quick service is another value. Might be they are giving you back guarantees, that you can pay back guarantees is another value, that you are saying, okay, suppose I am saying that if because I'm a trainer, I say if you're not satisfied, I will pay you back. So it's give you a value to the customer. Organization structure changes, executive changes. Now, after we have seen that what is BPR, now the question coming into mind is what this a big thing is that he is talking a lot, how to re-engineer. Very simple. First is to choose the processes to re-engineer. So the process, you have to select a process, you have to select a problem. What is a problem? If you do not identify a problem correctly, you will not choose the process correctly. Suppose you have chosen a process, your inventory management process, there is a problem, delay in the supply to the people, supply to the customers. So it relates with the inventory management, logistics management process. So you go, make a chart, make a process flow chart, try to understand that process. Where is the delay? Where is the maximum delay? What is the cause of the delay? Then you take corrective actions that probably might be you feel that there is a problem in the technology, might be there is a problem in the people, might be it is a problem in the process. So the 3 things you have to look after, and after that you may be having that there may be problem of broken processes, some important processes, some feasible processes. Then you understand the current process, understand it, analyze it. What is the problem? Ask the customers, ask the people, discuss with the people. You will finally understand the whole process. Then you redesign it, but you redesign it in a way that it should bring a drastic change in the performance of the system. Then it is not one-time job. You have done once, that is not BPR. BPR is again a continuous process. You have to look at that process, whether that process has been corrected. Now the process is running. Was it giving improved value to the customers or not? Suppose I gave you an example. I joined a company which was pump supplier and pump manufacturer as a regional manager, sales and services. So when I joined the company, they told me the service business, they are having a problem. In the service business, the customers are unhappy. So I sit down, I tried to figure out what is the process. Everything was, I found, was verbal, something was written, and the sales people are driving the service people, and they are saying, okay, do this, leave this, this is important customer, this is not important customer. So they were dictating the service guys to execute the jobs, and there was complete mess. So what I did, I went to the customers. Customers were very angry. So one of the customer asked me to get out of the room. So I went out, but I said that, sir, I am a new manager. So please, could you give me some time? He said, of course, you take time and we will see the result. I went there. I tried to understand that process, service management process. I found out there is a lot of things missing in the process. So I redesigned the whole process. So first thing I have to do is I have done a lot of interventions. I have described their job descriptions. I have put a 1 week schedule of installations, and it was printed and it was put on the board so that the sales people could not fight and interact with the service people. Then I developed an instrument. When service sales guy hand over business to the service, there was an instrument in the form of the some form. He has to fill the form, get approval, my approval, then it was entered. So it took me 1 year to crack the system. Then I went back to those customers. He said, sir, there is a good improvement. The response has improved. The people, I conducted a lot of trainings of the people, and even some 1 or 2 left also. I have put the service in layers, the first level service, second level service, third level service. Then I uh, employed those people in those categories. So it was a continuous process. So it only became possible because I was passionate. I was having motivation to do that. So if you are a process manager, if you are a business manager, you are a department head, you can correct your system by analyzing your process, by chalk down a process flow chart and looking up where is the problem, where is the bottleneck. If you identified the bottleneck, I'm sure that you will take actions and that system will be corrected and redesign the process. So you should be boldly apply engineering principles, search out and destroy assumptions. You know, assumption is a bad thing. You should be realistic. Don't assume anything. And you, once you do it, and you continuously been doing that, and I hope that the things will be on the right position. Then is who will re-engineer? Obviously, we have seen that there is what is the outcome of the business process engineering, how to analyze the process, how to select the process. So anybody can do that. A leader can do it, some senior management executive can do it. Process owner, we call it, which old world is the manager, business manager, or department head, you can say re-engineering team. Some companies put a team of different cross-functional managers. They make a team and they re-engineer the whole system. Steering committee, some put the steering committee and they continuously been reviewing, issuing instructions. Then lastly, the re-engineering expert. So there are people available in the market who are called consultants, experts, you can call them, but beware of BPR is not a formula. Many consultants will say, sir, we have done BPRs of so many companies, but remember, BPR is not ready cooked formula. You have to develop, it is a technique. You have to develop this practice this technique by your own way, by analyzing your own system, analyzing your own situation. Because these words came, they are imported words. BPR also, I have not made it. BPR came from the MIT, Harvard. So these words, don't get these words as a brand. You have to practice this keeping in view of your own situation, keeping in view of your own type of the processes. Sometimes consultants get a lot of money and you are stuck. And rather reengineering gives you a drastic improvement, it finally collapses your company also. And we have seen some examples that companies, while doing BPR, collapsed because they start a very huge process at one time and multiple directions, so the things fail. I remember, again, I'm giving you an example. There was a company, I was a manager there, and they have a chaos, managerial chaos, because there were a lot of reporting system, there was a lot conflicts in the top management. So they asked, somebody approached them that you put an ERP system, everything will be okay. So they started trainings. I told them that I have gone through ERP. So please, you keep the old manual system intact, and in parallel, you put the ERP systems. So that when you are trained enough, then you stop the old system. They did not follow my advice. They immediately put the ERP system, and they were having lot of problems. Sometime hang on, sometime information is not passing on, sometimes the offices have inter-coordination problems. So you have to go in a way that you have to see your situation, where you're standing. It's not necessary that you apply the BPR in a way that as in a cooked form. Now the question is why organizations do not re-engineer. The first thing is complacence. ठीक हो जाएगा. In Urdu, Allah khair karega. Things will be come back. So they become complacent. As you see, COVID-19 has created everybody, every business in risk. Might be many businesses have started thinking to re-engineer their processes. Might be many businesses are sitting and saying that everything will be okay. As you see, the people also, the lot of directions are given by the government, but people are not following the protective measures. They say things will be okay, things will, because a human basically does not want to change. That's a basic. Human resists change. Political resistance, as I told you, there was a lot of resistance. I joined as a general manager one company, so I started doing things. I just give you a very good example. I went to a group, I said that you need the process improvement exercises because your systems are very slow. They said, no, this is not possible. I said, okay, what we do one training at 3 levels: supervisor level, middle managers levels, and top management level. They said, what you will do? I said, we will do training, value creation through business process improvement. They said, how the supervisor will understand. Then I translated into Urdu the whole book and what I want to deliver. I went into all their factories and conducted a training. So there was a lot of resistance, but there was a lot of people that means accepted this, and improvement started coming just by training. People started saving things. They have reduced the wastage. So just low hanging fruits, which we call it. So by training also you can improve your system. New developments, people are fear because the developments are moving very fast and you are left behind. and fear of unknown and failure. So you always, this is natural that a person who is running a factory, who is running a process, running a business, he says, if I do these lot of changes, might be I have to fail. So if he will do automating a mess, will create a automated mess. So automation is a solution, no doubt, but automation should be done when people are ready, people are trained, and your systems are easy to accept those change. Key characteristics of BPR. So what are the key characteristics? System philosophy. So BPR is a philosophy. It is a philosophy which you can implement according to your own situation without taking any name BPR. I am doing my BPR. No, that's not needed. Yes, it is a multinational companies, they are using this word. If there are small companies, medium-sized companies, they should re-engineer their businesses. They should continuously improve, start improvement in their businesses. Global perspective on business. There are many global companies, your perspective is changed. Business radical improvement, so that we have talked a lot. It will bring a radical improvement, drastic improvement in cost, quality, and your cost, quality, and that means the service. Integrated change, yes, you will have integrated change because you have now put the processes interlinked with each other. It's functional like a very good system. People centered, because people have to be trained. Ultimately, people have to implement. You have to go to each process. There are people, there are technology. So focus on end customers. You should not forget, while you are doing any BPR, any business improvement, you have to keep in mind the end customer. You have to keep always, if I am doing this, will it benefit to me? I remember one of our friend, which is Ashraf Saab, MIEK. He is the head of the MIA, because he and me used to publish this HVACR magazine. So I used to go to his office. He was renovating the front. So I asked him, what you are doing, why you are doing this? He said, look, people are coming to buy the comfort from me. They are not coming to buy the air conditioning from me. If I cannot show comfort in the front office where customer is sitting, so customer will be thinking that he cannot supply the comfort. So it's a good learning that I said, okay. He was renovating. It's a beautiful, always he always thinks in a very innovative way. I have learned also. And one of our friend, Mr. Mubashir, also, he is a source of inspiration for me in the business. And you have heard the news also, the Mubashir and his team put a quarantine center. So quarantine center, they put in a very short time. So this is another lesson. So you might be in future, the HVACR professionals and the health professionals, they have to work together, because there is a threat to human. So might be this is a collaboration between health professionals and the HVACR professionals, because indoor air, there's a question of the quality of indoor air. So the quality of indoor air means the cooling, the clean, it could disinfect the environment. It should not be prone to viruses. So these all things you have to consider. And process-based, last is, it is process focused. And if you are not simple companies, I am saying, you don't go for BPR and this, you continuously improve. You have a weekly meeting, just you name this improvement meeting. And you ask all the time the people, what improvement is required? What improvement is required? And you make a long list of the improvements, and you continue slowly and steadily improving your systems. I believe that if you do this exercise, because the BPR is a big task, BPR is very capital intensive, BPR is time intensive. So you have to decide as per your situation, where you are standing, where your business is standing. Is your business obsolete? Is your systems outdated? Is your products are not being sold in the market? You might have seen this new things, where is the taxi? Where is the rent-a-car market? A new cream service came and he demolished all the previous systems. Were the rent-a-car industry ready to face this situation? So there is a need to think. Today, I asked this question to my HVACR business fellows, the businessmen. Are you ready to take this change? Are you ready to cope with the change? Which a question is being asked: is the indoor environment is prone, is helpful, instrumental in spreading the virus or not? Because there are a lot of videos coming up. The people were sitting in a hotel, in some restaurant. One guy was having some corona. It spread through all the people. He was coughing. So this we need to think. And this is just a thinking. That means a question for all of those friends. Now you are going to implement. How you will implement BPR? Definitely you have to interact when you are doing BPR. Three things: people, process, and technology. You have to keep this triangle in your mind when you are going for BPR. Automation, technology helps. You have to redesign your processes. You have to retrain your people. You have to impart skills to them. These are the key steps in implementation of the business process reengineering. Select the process and appoint process team. Understand the current process. Definitely you need to understand, develop and communicate vision. What process improvement you are going to bring change in the company. You have to translate those. And you have to communicate, which is a very difficult, to communicate to the people, to make them understand what changes we are going to do, what improvement strategies, improvement steps we have, what kind of problems you face, what kind of mindset you should have. Then identify action plan. Obviously you have to make a plan, you have to execute a plan, then you have to take correct action or review the whole whether we have achieved. And it is again continuous. You again select a process. Might be it is not one-time job, it is a continuously you have to improve your systems and keep up your updation. This is the one very famous word in the business world, which is called enterprise resource planning. The technology is also growing, so the people have automated the systems. Now there are modules available. One is customer relationship module, sales management module. So they have integrated, which I have told you in the first few slides, sub processes. So what they have done it, they have separate developed modules, software modules, and then integrated all the modules with a dashboard, and it is integrated software. Most of the people understand that BPR is ERP, and they make a mistake. ERP is a tool to implement the BPR. It helps in implementation of BPR, but it is not a BPR, because it is one part which is technology part, but there is a process part, there is other part also which is called the people part. So you have to interact with the people. So most of the people, they do mistake. I am not saying ERP is not good. ERP is best. ERP is the best tool, but you need to find out whether ERP is your company ready for the ERP. As I told you an example, some company was having chaos and they put an ERP, they created further chaos. So ERP is a good thing. ERP is a business process management software that allows an organization to use a system of integrated applications to manage the business and automate many back office functions related to technology, services, and human resources. That's a very good tool. There are a lot of suppliers in the market which are selling ERP, which are training on ERP. ERP is the best tool, but business process, it is a part of the business process reengineering. Now, what are the challenges? What challenges people have while implementing a BPR? The first one is BPR looks good. It was a time everybody was saying, you re-engineer your businesses. It's a beautiful thing, beautiful world. I have re-engineered my business. Our company is starting re-engineering process. It's good on paper, but implementation is a big challenge. Remember, it was a multitasking, time intensive, capital intensive exercise. And you will have a lot of resistance. Putting bright ideas of BPR into practice is extremely difficult. No clear-cut BPR implementation tactics. There is no formula. There is no cooked formula for this. Many consultants have, we have a formula. No, you have to adopt this technique according to your situation, according to your business type of business, your situation, whether you're a small company, whether you are a very medium-sized company, you are a big multinational, international company, you have to apply the BPR techniques in your own way, in your real situation. Exact BPR problem is not identified. This is the major problem. Suppose if problem is not identified, then you start BPR, you are nowhere. What is your problem? If their problem is the cost is high, so you select the processes which are linked with the cost making high. If the problem is that your response is slow, so you can go into those processes where, and sometimes you have seen that in the few slides, if you want to correct one process, there are 3 other processes which are interlinked with those processes. So you have to correct those also. So that is why it is a multi-directional task, and it is first is to exact problem should be identified. Desire to change, not strong enough. People just saying we are re-engineering, they have a not desire to change. Start point the existing process, not a blank. You have to start somewhere. I have shown you a process. It is a starting point, input. Sales process was starting from inquiry, prospecting, visiting customers, finding customers, getting the inquiries from the customers. You have to have a start point. You have to have an end point. Blank state could not be a starting point. Commitment to existing processes too strong. Sometimes people have love with the product because they have gone through a product process, product development process. It's very hectic process. So they started loving with the process. So if you have love with the existing system, probably you will not be able to change the company. So some people say, no, it's okay. Our existing system is very good. Why you want to re-engineer? So if you have love with your previous outdated system, you probably will not be doing any improvement in your company. Quick fix approach. Quick fix approach is that you want to, because in our culture in Pakistan, mostly people, but in West culture, they have a time frame. They plan. Even in our Pakistan also, the lot of companies, lot of people, lot of professionals. Now it's a lot of development. People understand that this project will take this much time. This will take. So quick fix is not a solution. You have to have a time and space, a time to correct any process. It is not a quick fix thing that one day you just blow a whistle, the things will be okay. So things needs an effort, things need time, things need resources to change. So I have covered a lot of challenges into this Then we go to other common problems with BPR. Process under review too big or too small. Sometimes we take a bigger process that is too big. So we do not distribute into sub processes. Some processes are big. So it's a need to change, particularly, in manufacturing, if you are going to bring a BPR, there may be you have to change the assembly lines, you have to change the technologies, you have to import a lot of equipment. So there is a lot of that means efforts needed. Reliance on existing process too strong. If you are stuck with the existing process, you are relying that this is good, then obviously no change will come. The cost of the change seems too high. Sometimes the cost is very high. I remember, again, I take the example of Zelin, because our senior may be listening, Naseem Siddiqui Saab, he was general manager. In Zelin, general manager matters. It was a big thing. We were at that time very junior. So they created a idea bringing change from old Zelin into new Zelin. So they have chalked out a plan. They have chalked out the resources, what resources are required from bringing change from old Zelin to new Zelin. So, there was large costs involved in that. So the budget was not enough. So they created few projects to take out money out of those projects to make this change possible from old Zelin to new Zelin. But unfortunately, those projects also could not give good money, and the company collapsed. So in a re-engineering process, the company collapsed. The company went bankrupt, and they could not. So BPR, isolated activity not aligned to the business objectives. Sometimes you take the BPR in isolated. I told you it is an integrated. It is a multitask. It is a multi-directional. Allocation of resources, obviously, you have to allocate the resources. It will not happen that you do one thing, next day you say, I don't have money. So you have to chalk out a plan for your continuous. If you're doing continuously improvement, I still again say there is no need of BPR. But many times the change in the market is so abrupt that you need to re-engineer. Might be because of the COVID-19, many changes. Maybe you are looking in future, the companies have closed down, there is a lot of people, unemployment, businesses are rechanging, suffering, going into losses. So you need to re-engineer, you need to diversify your businesses, you need to survive in this market, you need to grow also in this situation. So we do not know when COVID-19 will be over, but we have to live with it. We have to redesign our business processes and rethink that how we can change, how I can be competitive in a new environment, how some businesses are growing, some go into loss. Poor timing and planning. So timing is wrong. If sometimes there is a problem that there is a timing is wrong, or you have done a very poor planning, that also a problem, a challenge with BPR. Keeping the team and organization on target. So you have to all the time keeping your team motivated, active, dynamic, and you have keep reviewing what you are doing, and organization on target. So I sum up this whole my that means lecture or webinar, that the best strategy I told you is business process improvement. You continuously improve your systems, processes, continuously studying, continuously been asking, to the staff, to the people, to the workers, what is happening, where we are lagging, what problems we are facing, and holding the continuous improvement meetings. And if your systems and processes have become outdated, or some business environment has changed enough, or has created a change that you cannot now cope up with the existing process of the business, definitely then you go for re-engineering of the business. As I told, all the groups which I have taken the name, the big groups of Pakistan, they have re-engineered their processes. They have diversified, they have recreated, they have rethought why this LUMS University came into existence. So why packages uh, did it? Because this was also the outcome of the re-engineering processes of their systems. You visit this Tetra Pak, you visit Unilever, you visit some multinational company, you will see the various systems are the integrated processes are very fast, efficient. So we should all businessmen, the business professionals, the managers, the facility managers, keep on thinking, keep on working, keep on redesigning your systems, but should not forget in every change the customer, customer, because output finally is should be oriented toward customer. It should be a customer benefit. Whether customer is benefiting in terms of cost, customer is benefiting in terms of response, customer is benefiting in terms of quality, customer is benefiting in terms of any other value, might be is getting more comfort. This is another value. Might be is getting more taste if there's a food. So you have built some prescription, some ingredients you have put it, and the taste is better. So that's so with this, I end my webinar. My email is here. If anybody, because of the time, we could not be able to answer all your questions. So this is my email, and now I open this. I ask my moderator, so he should receive your questions and let me know if I can answer your questions very well. So thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for very informative session. Participants want to ask you question for question answer session. I would request Mr. Riaz Beg to continue this session. Sir, please. Riaz Beg, sir. Faisal,
Yeah.
I'm audible?
Yeah, I'm listening to you. I think request RS to ask the question might be.
Beg sir, are you there? Sir, we cannot hear you, sir. I think there is an internet problem with Riaz Beg Saab. So, Mr. Faiz Putazab, I want to ask question on behalf of Beg Saab,
Okay.
but from different participants. The first
Mhm.
question is you are explaining, it seems that 80% of the companies in Pakistan needs re-engineering.
No, not. Again, I said to you, as I said in my presentation, that re-engineering is required only if the problems I have identified, if 80%, I don't think that 80% companies are having obsolete systems, 80% companies have become uncompetitive, and the customers are not happy with 80%. So we cannot say like this. The percentages we cannot say. It depends on the companies and the processes, what challenges they are facing, they need to decide. But obviously in Pakistan, companies needed re-engineering, but not in this percentage value.
Okay, sir. There is another question. Sir, would be there are major differences between business re-engineering and business process re-engineering? Like taking this pandemic situation as of now, how can business reshaping and business processing reshaping can save us from a major downfall?
So these are actually different words. Process, when we call it process re-engineering, it could be a business process re-engineering, it can be business re-engineering. So it is a business re-engineering management. These are words which are almost have the same meaning. So they are similar words. And in this COVID situation, definitely people need to think. And really, I have been receiving a lot of news from the West, from Pakistan. The companies are losing their market. They are closing down. They are diversifying their businesses. So we can say these all words are similar meaning, have similar meaning. So there's no difference.
Okay, sir. And there is another question which I have got from a participant. What is the post COVID-19 future of HVACR business? People are afraid of central air conditioning. So, what's your point regarding it?
This is a very difficult question. I have talked into my discussions. Still, we cannot say anything because of the reason the research is going on. Research will prove what is the relationship between the air conditioning and temperature and humidity and virus spread. If it is proved that virus has any relationship with the temperature and humidity, it increases or decreases, then probably we have to reshape, we have to rethink, the redesign the HVAC, our systems, our centralized air conditioning systems, even the other air conditioning system also. Yet there is no research. Research has not proved that air conditioning is instrumental in spreading the virus. There are news, there are fake news, some information. Once the research proves this thing, really this centralized air conditioning system is instrumental in spreading the virus. If somebody is coughing inside in the indoor environment, then so we cannot say at the time. At this time research is going on, there is no one answer, and it will be not even feasible not good to reply anything which is not yet confirmed.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. I think Riaz Beg Saab is now again with us as a panelist, sir. Can we hear you, sir?
So I think Haris has to, Umar. It was Haris' duty to put the questions.
I have put all the questions in to
Okay.
Beg Saab.
Okay. You have the list.
Yes, I have the list.
So you go one
I
by
have
one.
forwarded all the questions to Beg Saab.
Okay, you don't have the list.
I have a list. I
You have a list?
forwarded all questions to the Beg Saab.
Okay, Beg Saab is if it's the problem, having problem, you can.
So I'm reading for you. Very informative presentation. Any guideline, the size of a company?
There is no, I have told you there is no fixed formula. There are guidelines are available on the net also. Lot of guidelines are available, but I always will say not only one guideline may be favorable to one type of businesses, may not be favorable to other type of businesses. So guidelines are available and the internet. You can download guidelines, and if you send me an email, I will also send you few guidelines. But remember, guideline is a guideline. You have to think the application of guideline according to your situation, according to your size of the company, according to your style of the business, according to your typical processes. You are either in a technical business, non-technical business, manufacturing business, trading business. So there are different applications of the BPR in different situations.
Sir, next question is, what does BPE means? Starting a new business.
I do not know. BPR is this, BPE business. I don't know this term. I have not heard this. If I found out, ask him to send question to me. I will search for it and I will reply.
Oh, okay, so now there's a lot of question here. So now I am handing over to the Umar.
Umar.
Umar, please unmute your mic.
Thank you very much, sir. Sorry for inconvenience. I think there was a trouble with the net. And I'm so much grateful to you, sir, for here, for spending your time for us and sharing your knowledge with us. And
Thank you.
it's a great honor for us to be here as a panelist and share your views, your experience with our young engineers, our participants from different industries. Thank you all for being a wonderful audience, and stay tuned and connected for more informative webinars with Pakistan HVACR Society. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. If anybody has question, put at my email.